So after the dynamic warm-up, before we get into the big lift of the day, we're gonna be using something called a power primer. A power primer is a movement that is worked on the back side of the body. We're chasing a pump here, and we're gonna try to further activate the big stabilizers in our big movement for the day, which is bench press. So we're gonna be hitting half kneeling cable face pulls for high rep schemes. So we're gonna be doing 15 reps here, really trying to keep slow and controlled movement and trying to get a mind-muscle connection back here. We're also using the half kneeling position just so we can get our core more activated. We can get into a better position to try to link up the pillar of the shoulders, the hip, and the core together. And we're gonna be using something called an extended ramp-up scheme. So we're not just going to our working weight, we're gonna use 4 sets to get up to our working weight. So we're gonna feel it out little by little, starting light and then adding load each of those 4 sets. Once we get up to a top end set, we're gonna stay there for 3 sets and we're gonna get it to the point where we're getting a heavy training effect. All right, Ruben, so we're gonna get down into a half kneeling position. You're gonna kind of alternate every other set into what knee you're kneeling on here.
Okay.
And the key point here is that I want you to use this overhand grip, but I want to let your thumbs go kind of upwards here, so we can get our shoulders into a better position, a more centrated, neutral position to pull back on. Okay. All right, let's go. So the big focus for Ruben is trying to activate posterior delts back here, some of those scapular retractors and downward rotators, and really just feeling a constant tension pump back at the shoulders here.
So John, what kind of advice would you give for somebody who doesn't have that mind to muscle connection with these movements?
So slow down. Anytime that you can use a better activation, giving your body more time to respond to the positions, you're gonna be better activating those muscle fibers. So anytime that you can pull back a little bit quicker and then you can accentuate the eccentric lowering back out, that's gonna be great. You guys will notice here right away, Ruben, keep your head up because we're falling at the chest. This is a postural exercise that we need to have better positioning with. We want chest up, core integrated, and again, the head leads the body every single time. So eyes up, head up, and making sure that we're all in neutral through those 3 aspects of the spine, the cervical, thoracic, and the lower back and lumbar spine. Good, so we're gonna add load each and every set here. So we're gonna climb up the cable rack. So as the weight goes up, you'll feel like you need to work harder at the hips and at the core to actually keep your positions. So make sure you're not just passive on the ground here. You're squeezing your butt, squeezing that core, making sure the chest stays up, and the big focus is right here at the upper back.
Gotcha.
Get that head up.
Obviously that's a problem for me, right?
That default of the head down, that's something that we've seen with Ruben, a couple of the different movements that we did in the warm-up, but then again, it shows up in this power primer-based movement as well. That means that if you can fix one thing, you can fix a lot of things because you have a lot of carryover in the movement patterns. Good, so we're gonna keep on going up, keep on chasing this. Head up,
Gotcha.
core tight. Drive back hard and then let it out slow. Good. Keep it smooth. Smooth movement is sound movement. Flex without that pause though. So I want you to flex at the back and don't pause it. Flex it hard and then let it out smoothly.
All right.
Flex it and then let it out. Good. So it's not necessarily about the weight on the stack here. This is a tiny muscle group. Backside of the shoulders, we want to be meeting it with the right loading that can enhance mind-muscle connection. It's not about the load on the weight stack. All right, we're gonna get into working sets here. Good, keep that core in position. Flex them hard, but don't pause it. Keep constant tension. More people need better sound movement patterns, and it's a motor skill. So the more practice that we can get, the better they're gonna look as we increase loading. So we're doing this to increase blood flow in the back of the shoulders. We're also doing this to lubricate the joint space in the shoulders. Both of those things together are really, really great for long-term shoulder health, but also optimizing the performance in the big lift. We're priming the backs of the shoulders so we can perform more optimally at the front side. As soon as we lose our posture and our abilities to actually have sound technique, that's when we cut the load and we stay there for our working sets. So I got 1 in, we got 2 left here. You can see set by set, Reuben's getting better at this, and that's the point. We're getting reps in to optimize movement patterns.
You know, as hard as when I'm doing the movement, I kind of want to use my hips to come back and forth. Right.
So that's going to be your limiting factor. That's where your loading is, so you can keep strong and stable.
It's the core.
We could do face pulls from a standing position. We could do it from a seated position. We're doing it from half kneeling so we can hit multiple areas of the body at once for dynamic transference into our big lifts. So we're going to throw a curveball in here. We're going to add one last set, and we're actually going to do a drop set here.
Okay.
So you're going to pull the pins for me.
All right.
I'm going to do 15 reps, and then you're going to go down to the 60. I'm going to do another 15, and then we're going to go down to the 30. We're going to do another 15. Head up, core tight, control those hips.
Good.
Straight up hypertrophy, first and foremost, the upper back responds extremely well to high rep, high relative intensities. But also, we're thinking about being able to build those postural stabilizers that really get neglected in terms of barbell sport like bodybuilding, like powerlifting, or even for CrossFit for that matter. This horizontal plane of motion, it's almost like the magic pill to shoulder health. Finish it, drive it back, feel them. Good set. All right, we're primed, we're ready to get into our big strength indicator movement of the day, which is gonna be the barbell floor press.